Okay, hello guys. Welcome to Dupi Animation. And today what we are going to do is we are going to create a simple in-cloud Christmas bumper. Okay, like the one we have on the screen here. Okay, that's what we are going to create. Let's not waste time. I'm going to keep it simple. So whilst designing yours, please try to add more flair and style to it. Okay, let's pull up After Effects and let me load my assets. Okay, so I have two materials here that I'm going to use to create the boss. All right. First, let me create a new composition with a size of something like let me see, 20,000. It was there, 20,000. Then a height of 3,000. Let me name it Cloud 1. Cloud 1. Okay, so I have this. Now let me create a second composition. Let me name this one Ball 1 with a width of 1,000 and a height of 2,000. Okay, so now let's bring a material. This is where I'm going to create my ball, Christmas bulb. So let me bring a material and go to Effects, type CC sphere. Okay, then apply it to it. Then you have your ball. So from here, let me change the angle, the light angle. Let me keep it under. Okay, so from here, reduce the height of the light a bit. Okay, so that you have something like this. All right. Reduce the radius a bit. Now bring the bulb down somewhere here. All right. Now create a new solid layer. Give it a color of something like green. Okay, something like green. Then scale it down. Okay, we are going to use it to create the line that holds the bulb. Okay, so something like this. Something like this is okay. So after creating the line on the bulb, select the bulb, hit E, Effect, to bring out CC sphere. Then you rotate the bulb. So we are going to rotate on Y rotation. Let's set a key at the beginning, 0. Then move the timeline to something like 30 seconds. Then type there 3 or maybe 4, the rotation. Let me check the speed and see. Okay, so this is okay. The rotation is okay. All right. So now let's go to Cloud 1. Cloud 1 and create our cloud. New. Let's insert a new layer, solid layer, white. Okay. Okay. So now we have a new solid layer inside Cloud 1. What we are going to do is we are going to use the ellipse tool to create the cloud. All right. So now let's select the ellipse tool, hold the shift key, then start creating our cloud. So I'll just let me do this fast. So you see what I'm doing? Just using circles to create the cloud. Okay, so let's leave it like this. Okay, so we have this as our cloud. All right. So now let's create another composition, which will be our main composition. Let's name it main. Make it HD 1920 by 1080. Then click OK. All right. So we have Cloud 1 here. Okay. Only one composition. Let's duplicate it something like 2 times. All right. So 1, 2, to have 3. Okay. Now select the 3. Then drop them inside our main composition. Okay. But for time's sake, I have to duplicate this thing 3 times to do the work and use the same style so as not to waste time. Okay. So now we have 3 clouds inside here. Let me select all and make them all 3D. Okay. Select all of them, then hit P for position. Okay. Now on Z, let's type something like 4,000. 4,000, then enter. It will push them all backwards. Okay. I think 4,000 even is not enough. So let me make it something like 8,000. Check. Okay, 8,000. Now I have 8,000 for maybe the one at the back. So the one here in the middle here, I'll give it something like 4,000. Let me give that one more 4,000. Then the one in front of S, let me keep it to 0. All right. So from here, let's insert in the camera. So new camera. Okay. Okay. So from camera, inserting a null object. So right click in, new, null object. Then make it 3D. Then let's call it control. Okay. Then map the camera to the control. All right. So after here, come to effect and type separate XYZ position. Okay. Then apply it to the control. All right. So in this case, you are going to use the effect separate XYZ position to animate. All right. So on Z, let's go in. On Z, you see that once we are going in, it's pushing our clouds in. All right. Okay. Now from here, the next thing to do is just arrangement. We just have to arrange the clouds. Okay. So first, let me push the clouds towards us. Something like this is okay. Select the 3 clouds, then push them up. Push them up. So first, let me leave them somewhere here. Right. Now the one on top, right click on it, then go to layer style, then select drop shadow. You see that? Then inside drop shadow, give it a size of something like, let me see. I think 50 is okay. 50. Then an opacity of something like 30. Let me see. Opacity of 30. All right. Then you copy the drop shadow. Then paste it on the second one. Let me push the one in the middle up a bit. So you have something like this. All right. Now select the 3 clouds again. Duplicate them. Okay. Then bring them down. Select all, then bring them all down again. So they have something like this. You see how easy it is? Although the one I did, I put a bit of soft into it, but this is just the procedure. Okay. So the last one went down too much, so just pull it up a bit. Let's bring in the balls. Okay. So select 2, hit Ctrl D to duplicate 2, then select ball 1. Okay. Then hold the Alt key, then drag it onto cloud 2 that you duplicated. So you have something like this. It's too small, so you hit S, then scale it up. You see? Scale it up. So you have something like this. Now let's scale it up a bit more. So this is okay. All right. So duplicate the ball again, then push one to the other side. You see? Then bring it down a bit more. All right. Then the anchor point, push it into the clouds. So it will be somewhere here. Let me select that one too. Then push the anchor point into the clouds a bit more. Okay. So let me duplicate this one again. Then scale it down a bit. Then maybe hang it somewhere here. Okay, let me push it beside this a bit more. Duplicate this one. Then hang it beside this one too, a bit more, something like this. Now let's animate it first before we do the rest, okay? So on control, hit E to bring out the effect. Then come to something like 11 seconds. Then set an ending key. Then move the timeline backwards to your beginning, okay? Then on Z, you go in positive. You see that? To hit the wall, okay? So let's give it a background, new, solid layer. Let's give it a color of something like blue, okay? Then let's bring it down, okay? You have hit the wall. So when you play this, you see you have something like this, with the camera coming in slowly. You see? If you see spacing in between the clouds and you want to close it, those spaces, you can just scale the clouds up. They will close the gap, okay? So first, we will zoom in. Then maybe be going in gradually. You see? We'll be going in gradually. Then let me end all the keys here. Then we move the timeline to something like 14 seconds. Okay? Then we go X position. We move the cloud. So we go something like this. See? You move it, the clouds, so everything disappear. Then set a key. Okay? So from here, all that you have to do is just select the clouds. Let's select the clouds. Then duplicate them. Okay. Bring them up. Then change their timeline color so that you can differentiate between them. All right? So after doing that, just move the entire cloud, the one you have duplicated, to the right side. Okay? You move it to the right side. See this? After this, you push it forward. Push it forward towards S. So the top one was not brought in. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate one there. Let me see position. Let me just keep it like this, then bring it out. Push this one out. Okay. Okay, this one too will do. All right. You see that from here, when animation comes in and is going, just like that, it's like they are all in line. Then move it. But what you are going to do is the middle here, this is where you have to notice. The middle here, where it moves, there have to be something blocking there. Okay? So you have to put something there so that the entire place here will be white. All right? So to bridge that particular gap, let's just duplicate one of the clouds. The one at the bottom. Let me just use the one at the bottom since there is no shadow behind that particular one. Then scale it up. Okay, so let me see. So from here, you can use the ellipse tool. You can just use the ellipse tool, then cut it. So this particular one will be a bridge between them. Okay, so let's see what we have. You see, the clouds comes in, then stay there small, then it goes away. Okay, so the going away, the one in the middle is where the problem is. All right? Let's move it somewhere here. So somewhere like this, I think somewhere like this is okay. Okay, so now we can move that particular one in. That's why when creating your clouds, it's advisable to create a small one too, so that you have a mixture of both. All right? So now, then the second one, let me scale it up a bit, then bring it out, okay? Then apply layer star, drop shadow to it, okay? Let's see, let me give it a size of 50, then opacity of 30. Okay, I think this one will do. Please, if you don't understand something, you can send comments so that I'll try to explain a bit further. Okay, so you have this. So when it comes in like this, maybe I want it to be zooming in towards us. So I'll be going in like this, slowly. You see that? Slowly. You see? For time's sake, so we are a bit rushing. Okay, I don't want us to spend that much time on this particular one. All right? So after we are done with the animation, we try to bridge a bit of those gaps so that it will be easier to understand more. Okay, so now let's go Y. Let's pull it up. See, our clouds are going. See that? So now let's try to fill in those clouds. You see that when it's going up, there's a bit of blue showing here. Let's close that blue. Okay, so which cloud is that? Let me use the one at the bottom. So take your time, then look for that particular one, cloud at the bottom there. Okay, that's it. So you duplicate it, then you pull it up. Okay, pull it up, then move it to this side, then you scale it up too. So you have closed that particular blue showing there. All right. Okay. So you have this. Okay, now let's try to do some typing. So first, let me off this cloud first. Let's check something here. All right. So from here, see that some of the clouds are quite small, so we are going to scale some of them up. Is it this one? It's too small, so let's scale it up. Let's scale it up. Then move it to the right side a bit. Okay. Move it to the right side a bit. Which one is that? This one. Scale it also up. Then bring it down. So now we are scaling them up. We are scaling them up to just close the gaps in between. Okay. So you have this here. All right. So now the third one. All right. So scale it up. Scale the third one up. Then bring it down a bit. Push it to the other side. Then bring it down a bit. All right. All right. So now let's go upstairs. The one up there. Let's scale them up to a bit more. So you have something like this. Scale it a bit more. Then push it to the right side a bit more. Now let's see the one underneath it. Scale it also a bit more. So I think this is enough. Let's leave it like this. Okay. All right. So now let's do the typing. Let's type in the words. Let me type something. Oh, let me change the font first. There's a stroke on it. And give it a 0. Then reduce the size. Okay, let me type. Here comes Christmas. Okay. Then make it 3D. Okay. So once I make it 3D, because of the camera within it, it pushes the text backwards. So you have something like this. You see? You see that it's going with the flow. Okay. You can decide to keep the information at one side then arrange it nicely. Okay, you can decide to break it and keep the information at one corner here. Okay, so I have something like this. Comes in with the text, says there small, then goes with the camera to bring you the next scene. All right, so with this you can duplicate this particular text, then push it to the right side to the next scene. Okay, push it to the next scene. So let me move it to the next scene. Let's type celebrate with us. Oh, see, I made a mistake with the typing celebrate. So we have this here too. Okay. Then the bottom one is coming too big. So you can scale it down or move the text in and position it well. Move it in so that as the camera is coming towards us, everything will be in focus. Okay, so move it in a bit more and position it well. So once it's coming, then it goes up to reveal the final scene. Okay, so let's duplicate this one too. Then bring it down. Okay, bring it down. See that? Now let's write Merry Christmas. You see that? So let me change the font to something like Medina. Okay, blow it up a bit more. So you have this. Okay. So the first animation, it comes in, stay there small, then goes away to bring the next scene. Then also goes away, then you come to the final scene. All right. So now you can select this entire keys, then easy ease them. All right. So what's left is just arranging the balls. All right. Like how we did from here. You just have to arrange the balls like that. Okay. So let's select some of the balls. So the 3 balls, let me duplicate them. Bring them up. Then move them inside the next scene. So the middle here, whilst the distance is going on, I can decide to bring one ball there. Okay, a big one here, which can be dangling. Let me scale it up. Move it upwards. Okay, so you have something like this. Let me move that anchor point to somewhere here. So we can be dangling this one. Okay, rotation, let's see, on Z, something like 10 seconds. So 10 is okay. All right, so I'll start from here, the beginning here. I'll go 10, set a key, give it a space, -10. Okay, just like this. Then copy these keys, then bring the timeline forward, then paste the keys. Okay, copy the keys again, move the timeline forward, then paste the keys. Just like this. So now let's see what we have. See? All right. Okay. Okay, so from here, what you do is let's create a white around the text. Okay. Merry Christmas, duplicate it. Then the bottom one, the bottom test, give it a stroke of something like, let me see, 100. Okay, with the stroke color being white. Okay, if the 100 is too much, you can reduce it to any amount that you want. All right, so let's see. If you need it for this one too, you can still do it. So let me see, celebrate with else. Then the bottom one, let's give it a stroke of something like 60. Okay, so you can keep it like this. Then the first one, here comes Christmas, duplicate it. Then the bottom one, give it a stroke of something like 60 is okay. Okay, so it's okay like this. All right, basically we are done here, guys. You see how simple it is. But when doing it, please take your time and arrange them well. All right, this one, because I don't want us to spend too much time, I was in a bit of a hurry. All right, you can add more things if you want. The ending here, okay, you can duplicate this particular bulb. Take these three, duplicate them, then bring them down. Okay, I'll bring them down here. Okay, let me push this one to the other side so that the big one will come in. So that I won't have to recreate the dangling there. Okay, so I have this. So this is a big one. So these two, I'll hang these two here. Okay, so basically, guys, we are done. Let's see our final work. All right, so guys, we are done here. All right, so this is your simple in-cloud Christmas bumper. Although there is a bit of dangling problem there, when doing yours, please take your time and arrange the anchor point well so that you won't have that problem later on. Okay? Okay, guys, this comes to the end of our tutorial. See you next time.